Hello again, it's Justin Dawson from the All Things TechIE Podcast. We are now concentrating on CES, the Consumer Electronics Show for the All Things TechIE Podcast. Here is some pre-episodes of All Things TechIE Podcast before I go off to the Consumer Electronics Show from the 3rd of January 2026. We haven't even done Christmas yet. It's all coming up in episode 132 of the All Things TechIE Podcast.
Here's the show that loves to talk about gadgets and gizmos, from A-Logic to Yamaha, cameras to control panels. You get what I mean. We love talking all things techie. In fact, that's the name of the show. And here is your host, Justin Dawson.
Yes, available to download wherever you get your podcasts. And also, if you like to watch this podcast, which is what I always tell listeners of All Things TechIE Podcast to do, watch us on YouTube. This is episode 132 of the All Things TechIE Podcast. My name is Justin Dawson, and if you're watching, you can get in contact in several different ways. I'm on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and wherever you download your podcast. You can find me on socials. Sir Justin Dawson is my handle. And of course, the official website of All Things TechIE Podcast is www.allthingstech.ie. I am so excited to be doing shows now on the run up to CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, which takes place I'll be flying in from the 3rd of January into Vegas, like literally just past New Year's Day into 2026. And if you want to get in contact with the All Things TechIE Podcast, and sponsorship opportunities are always available. You could have your advert displayed here on the videos of All Things TechIE Podcast. Get in contact. We're on YouTube, All Things TechIE Podcast, www.allthingstech.ie, and loads of ways of how you can sponsor, support our podcast, which has a growing global audience. We cover tech absolutely everywhere. So please do get in contact or visit www.allthingstech.ie, and you can find out different ways of advertising throughout this audio podcast or video podcast as well. And always interested in companies at the trade shows like Consumer Electronics Show, or I will be covering as well ISE, Integrated Systems Europe. That's coming up in February. So from going to Vegas to going to Barcelona in the start of the first 2 months of 2026, it's going to be a busy period. Well, one of the areas that is really interesting to me is medical, healthcare and tech. Maybe it's just from working as a senior tech officer as well in a school of nursing. And technology with healthcare is important, and it's finding solutions to change people's lives. And one of the areas at CES is the Age Tech Collaborative from AARP. It's leading a global mission to improve people's lives as they age. They bring together a one-of-a-kind ecosystem of leading startups, forward-thinking investors, enlightened enterprises, and creative testbeds, all working to bring groundbreaking age tech innovations to the market. And even from some of the products that's going to be unveiled, like the Osteoboost, stay ahead with bone loss with Osteoboost. Osteoboost is the first FDA-cleared wearable therapy that you wear around your waist, maybe half an hour a day. And we're going to be talking about that with Amelia Hay, VP of Startup Programming and Investments, shortly. And some of the other products available is Beacon, and this is continuous clean lights to disinfect the air in a house, smart home and everything. Mounted 8 foot high, plug it in. You can see some of the clips here at the moment. Well, earlier on, I spoke with Amelia Hay. She's the VP of Startup Programming and Investments for the Age Tech Collaborative. I started by asking Amelia, from a newbie attending CES for the first time, how to plan myself out.
Go to where you want to go and see the solutions that you want to see, and take it day by day. It's kind of like when you're touring, kind of the morning to kind of assess where to go in the space. So there are multiple buildings, so you have to decide which buildings you want to go to, and then kind of take a walk around. But it is overwhelming. But you can look at certain products and go in depth and then kind of move along. But you can't see everything. There's no way.
No, like no way. Like I even know for a week over at ISE, like I come out of it and people ask me at the very end, it's like, so what did you see and what did you enjoy? It's like, I can't even compute at this moment on time of what actually I have seen. Looking at some of the products that you mentioned to me, like, where do we start off? Osteoboost, a new era in bone health. Tell us more about it.
Osteoboost is so interesting. It is a belt that you wear around your waist, hips, for 30 minutes a day, some kind of regimen for 2 weeks, and it helps you strengthen through vibration. I'm simplifying the technology, but
yes,
through
of course.
vibration, it strengthens your hip bones and the connectors, and it is the first FDA-approved external device to combat osteopenia, which is the precursor to osteoporosis. So she went into market in July, I think, and just gangbusters, wait lists, and it's a great product. So my booth is, I've got 22 companies coming in
22,
and five larger companies that kind of support the ecosystem in this space. And when the sense is when you walk through that portico, you are walking into someone's home, and all of the solutions, except for one, are solutions that are in the home. Because I believe that people want to stay in their homes or they want to be at home, and there's also a very strong hospital at home kind of movement that the U.S. is investigating, and so I really wanted to kind of show and demo, not just exhibit, but actually you can walk in and you can actually try out all of these products, so that you really get a sense of what they can do and what technology has enabled us to do at home.
Well, and look, you can say that, Amelia, over in America. You can say that over here in Ireland. People aging people want to stay at home, along with the sheer cost of a nursing home. Like, if you can bring this technology into the home and make it safe, that, whether this patient has a caregiver that's coming in at certain times, or whether it's a family member, just giving them the sense of relief, knowing that there's the technology in a home, in a smart home. Should they have trips or falls? Should they be able to help and relieve pain like this bone health? It's a fantastic way of doing a booth.
Yeah, no, I'm really proud of it. Thank you. And what we're trying to do is show that there is this opportunity in aging at this point. And that's one of the reasons why we go to CES, to show other people, other innovators, entrepreneurs, that there's an opportunity here. And there's a plethora of solutions that need to be developed for people who are aging, because aging is living. And it's about just what happens to your body and how can we kind of combat that with technology, to help people live healthier lives or be more productive, stay in the game. So it's about all of those things.
Now, you mentioned a key thing there, like FDA approved. How many of your products that you would have on your booth would have that standard of FDA approval?
Well, not every solution needs FDA approval. I think if you're a health product, yes, definitely. But there are other products that don't necessarily need that. And, it's very slow. In the U.S., FDA approval is done disease by disease.
Oh, right.
So,
okay.
It's very different, and so it takes a lot of time. But that's, it's people that are innovators in this aging space. They do it because they see a gap and they really want to kind of solve it. And that's where AARP comes in, because we are mission oriented and so it's not for that quick profit or the quick turnaround or the quick unicorn.
This is sort of where I'm going with this question. It's like, you see a lot of devices that come out. You see a lot of people that would do Kickstarters or GoFundMe type of pages to invent a product. I'm guessing with you and the AARP that you are looking at creating standards that before you actually run with the product.
Yeah, I mean, so we look at a lot of different kinds of products also, because, as I said, aging is living. So we're looking at health, but we're also looking at social engagement products. We're looking at fintech products, mobility, accessibility, smart home products. So it spans a very large, span of industries. But what I would say is that I think that we look for things that can help people, and some of them are like really easy and can solve it right away. And they could, especially with AI, there could be products that immediately are very, very popular, but other ones take a longer time. And I think everyone has an origin story. All of these founders have an origin story about why they do this. Why did they come up with this problem? They saw the gap when they were caring for someone or something like that. And it spurs them. And I think it holds them for that length of time that it takes to kind of go through all those gates and approvals and everything that has to happen to go to market.
So I could imagine a lot of these products or startup projects that you see, as you mentioned, it is passionate, it's emotions from a family member or something like that has gone, I need to solve this problem. And I say a lot of them, it's not about the money, it's not about making the profit or even breaking even. It's social
impact.
It
is a social impact. And I remember we host kind of founder summits, and I did this thing because, I was a caregiver.
Okay.
But a lot of people, when they go into this caregiving cycle, they really, I'm going to go off on a curve here.
Yeah,
you go into it and you live through your caregiving cycle and you don't really talk about it. So everyone who experiences it with their parents or loved ones, they feel like they're starting at ground zero. Like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Where do I go? Because nobody really, it's emotional. I don't want to talk about it. I'll talk about my grandparents, my parents, but I don't talk about what I had to go through to care for them. And you think about these founders, okay? And all of them went through the same experience I did. And yet they saw a gap and they wanted to solve it. And they live it every single day. That's brave.
And do you know what? I'll go on a personal note here. Like my son is pre-verbal autistic. He's 8 years of age. So my wife is a stay-at-home carer. And it's like that. It's like the family. It's a parents support groups that you learn about products that is going to support. And products that I would find over in America. For example, like my son was escaping from the seatbelt. I couldn't find a proper car harness until I started looking in the States. And this was made by a family member who has an autistic and neurodiverse kid. And literally got it all safety approved and everything. Now, I know that's sort of separate to tech, but it's the point, finding a solution to a problem.
Yes. And I think, where I'm going with this is that there are a lot of single point solutions. And I believe that is the way that these founders and entrepreneurs need to be thinking about it, because they have to perfect that one problem they're trying to solve, right? Mm-hmm. But eventually, we've got to kind of harness all of these single point solutions to something a little bit larger so that the user isn't looking at 15 different kind of programs or apps, but they're all kind of connected. Yes. So I'm looking forward in that perspective because I need to see who the aggregators are, who are the infrastructure people. And I have some startups that are just infrastructure because I know we're going to need it, right? So it's fascinating.
But it must be beautiful, to create with your association something that everyone can tap into a network and use the connections there to create a product and create a solution.
I've been at AARP for 20 years. It was mostly in finance, but you work for an association because you want to make a social impact. And I feel very lucky to have this particular job because it's so fulfilling to understand and to try and help these startups that have a solution that I really feel can really change someone's life. I mean, sometimes it's like the tremors and you put on the glove and then you can hold a coffee cup. Immediately your life is better because of that glove that you're wearing. And those are the kinds of things where, you just hope that you can make a big impact with all of the solutions that we're looking at.
how hard is it though for someone that's made a product like this to get the buy-in by medical companies to go to market and to start distributing this at a large scale?
It's very tough. It is very, very hard. And I think that you have to have the resolve and the creativity in who you talk to and how you get your product out there. Sometimes it could be seen as luck, but I think it's perseverance in many ways. And if you have a product that really can, solves that gap, I think there will be people who pay attention. If it really works, if it's really, something that can immediately help people, no one's going to walk away from something that you can see, oh my gosh, that definitely helps. And it's not just the aging person. Sometimes we have solutions that can help staffing of senior living places, or hospital efficiencies. We're looking at all of it because I think it all makes an impact.
Now, talk about the people that come through your booth. Do you have a wide selection of all types of end users, or do you have mainly medics that come through? Or
I think given that this is the second year that CTA is putting digital health through, I think there will be some medical clinical companies that come through. But our main focus at CES has been always to kind of raise awareness of what AARP is doing in this space, because I think, and it's really kind of to raise awareness about the opportunity there is in this aging space, because we're all getting older. And by 2050, 1 out of 3 people globally will be over the age of 50. So it's coming, and I can feel the kind of the wave behind me, because more and more people are understanding the opportunity. More and more people want to get in and try to help and figure out what we can do with this aging population. And I think that, so it's really anyone can come through, and I think that they'll be fascinated. This year, we're doing something very interesting, which is we have an activation as part of my booth where we have some video snippets of what we think the future of living as an older person will look like. And what I'm trying to do is posit in people's minds who go through the booth, like, this is what could be. Are you the one that's going to, make it? Are you the one that's going to create it? Could you help so-and-so to create this? I want to galvanize the tech community to kind of support this aging population with solutions that can make aging easier.
Now, when you say you've delved into the future, did you survey your members, or how did you come up with this idea?
We actually talked to a lot of futurists.
Okay.
I obviously, in this space, I'm a very creative person. I had some ideas, and we kind of took it from there. Sometimes in some of the things that we saw and some of the futurist things that we've seen, sometimes I had to be like, no, I can't do that. That already exists, right? So there were some things where I'm like, you nix that one. That's not going to work. But there are some others where it's like, it's kind of snippets of people's lives. And I think it's, I don't know, it's a possible future. I'm not saying it is the future.
Yes.
But I want people to walk away with is, number one, as a human being, oh my gosh, technology can make aging easier. I'm not afraid. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's one thing I want to do. The other thing that I want to do is really get these people thinking, oh my gosh, let's go investigate this demographic population. Let's go see what we can do for these people.
And do you know what? Like, even though we add the tech, Amelia, into smart homes for aging people, like, I'll give an example. My late dad now, he's 6 or 7 years gone. He was 50 years an electrician. Okay. And then, so that's maybe where the tech hat comes on for me. But like, there was things like where he fixed small domestic appliances, radio valves, like he would have known the old fashioned radios. And then when I started talking about internet radio, this sort of blew his mind. It's like, how does this work? Or even like, I would end up going over to the family house at times. It's like, something's gone wrong with the TV. It's like, well, what did you press type of approach, or it's computer. Fix my computer, Justin. But how do you keep the levels of simplicity for an aging person?
This is a very good question. And I will answer it 2 ways. One is, I think that simplicity will be there because it's going to become ambient. Okay. You won't see it. You won't have to do something because it's going to just be automatic is one
And
thing.
that's the most
But
important thing, the
it
hidden
is.
values. Yeah.
Yes, yes. The other thing though is that we have to understand that this aging population, a 5-year difference, and those people are more attuned and acclimated to technology.
They
So you
are.
have, like right now, and we're going to come out with a survey that we do every year. It's called Tech Trends, and the 2026 one actually shows you, because we have some data points that will kind of show you how it's changed over time, and you're going to see more. Like think about me. I'm 58. Okay,
You don't look 58. You don't look
thank you.
58.
Thank you. But like I'm email technology. I have it all, right? My light bulbs are all, here. I can turn off the whole house or turn it on. The security's all here. So I am acclimated, and I do believe that technology will be simple enough for me to carry it forward. So this technology, and whether or not older people can do it, from the perspective of cognitive decline, yes, we have to make it simple. But I do believe that most people, every 5 years, more and more acclimation to just being open to technology in general.
Yes.
Will happen.
Now, this year, we'll go on this year, and then I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to say previous years, but this year, what exciting products are you really looking forward to showing off?
Okay, that's a really good question.
And you can pick your top 5 if you want.
Okay, I'll tell you. There's one company called Skip that is going to be in the booth, and what they've done is, this is more of this like stay in the game kind of concept. They have partnered with Arc'teryx, the Arc'teryx clothing company, and they built a hinge on the knee, of the pants, so that you can go hiking. And it's what they say is it's the electric bike. It's the electric bike for hiking. And so that allows people to stay in the game. Now, this product is for not just older people. I mean, anyone who, might have a knee problem or something. But what I love about it is that if there are older people that want to just walk, up the hill, they're in San Francisco, they got to walk, they can do it with these pants, and that allows them to stay in the game.
That's awesome.
And I believe technology, can you imagine where exoskeletons are going to go in 5 years from now, 10 years from now? It's amazing, right? That's one. There's another there's a robotic company, and this is the one company that's not in the home right now. It's actually in the hospitals, but it alleviates some, for the nurses, say they're helping a patient, they forgot a supply, they can use their phone or iPad to tell the robot, it's Diligent Robotics is the company, to go to the supply closet, get that thing, and go and bring it to them in the hospital room. It can go on elevators. It can go on elevators on its own. And this, elevators in the U.S. are not regulated to the point where like the buttons are in different places in different buildings, right? So it's fantastic. And it saves time, right? More efficient. And this is what I'm talking about. Technology can do so many things, not just to the actual aging person, but around them.
I put on my query hat when I hear something like that, because like we teach our students about medication management and checking the labels and everything. Is there a bit of fear that goes with that they bought the wrong medication?
There is a person at the supply closet that is released. Okay. just follow your foot. Okay. And then the other product that is unusual for us is a product called Beacon, and they're going to be in our space. So when you walk into the room, you're going to see a gobo light on the floor that says, "This is air cleaned by Beacon," because
I was looking at the Beacon stuff. Yes.
So we have it all over where the startups are and in the future activation, because we want our air clean, right? I want to stay healthy while I'm there. But it's clean air. This is really important. This could be in hospitals. This could be in their homes. It will help stem illnesses that could further decline somewhat. But again, not just for older people.
Just on that talk about Beacon, like how wide of a range can the Beacon spot do?
So my space is 80 by 80, and they have, I think it's like a 7-foot radius. So they have 10.
Wow.
They have 10 in my space.
That's nice. Yeah. And I was reading up on some of the Beacon things. It's like some of these ideas, I say, really originated through COVID as well. Even though we're going 6 years down the line now at this point, but like it's the importance of like, yes, these lights can kill off bacteria and disease.
Yes. And then I love Elamine. Did you read about that? Where it's this band that you wear, so it helps you fall asleep. And so it even works if you wake up in the middle of the night, which I do, and you can put it on. Yeah, and it helps you fall asleep. But not only that, it's really using kind of like these vibrations through here that help you. But she's also looking at it for further things later that can help. So the neural. It's just fascinating. So she's there, and there's another one called Sensate, which I love. And what it does is, as you get older, you can get agitated just because your cognitive decline goes down, especially with dementia. And you place this. You kind of sit down. We have them in an ottoman, a chair and an ottoman. You sit there, and it's placed here. And again, with vibration, it calms you. It calms you. So, and that for many people who are taking care of dementia patients, it's phenomenal.
But as you mentioned earlier, Amelia, it's not just for aging people. Like the couple of things that you've said is all on the neurodiverse spectrum. Like I could do that with my child.
Yes, you could. Yes, you could. And that's what I love about some of these products is that while I might be showcasing them as the Age Tech Collaborative, I mean, this is about living. This could be for a broad spectrum of people.
It's now in the past. I'm sure you've seen many. What have been the triumphs, and I'm guessing with triumphs there's also been a couple of failures as well. What ones has really stood out for you?
Failures. That's a really good question. I'll tell you this. Because we're at CES, right? Consumer Electronics Show. I've got a lot of apps, right?
Yes.
A lot of apps, and they don't really show well. They really don't. And I've constantly tried to figure out a way, bigger iPads or something. And so I'm very, very careful about what kind of apps come in. But there are a couple of them that are just so good. Okay, and we bought these. I saw it on Instagram, but it's like 27-inch screens that can either go horizontal or vertical. People use them in their kitchens for their recipes or watch TV, and they're touchscreen. So it looks like a phone, and you load the app in, and so that way I can show them better. But we're doing this whole food and nutrition kind of area, and that's where one of them will be.
Okay.
So very excited about it. But the apps don't do well. People don't stop for apps, right? At CES, they're stopping for things that they can.
Physical and tech. I would agree. From a first time comer to the CES, that's what I will be looking at. Apps is like, I can look at that up on the web at any point. Yeah. So you have plenty of talks going on throughout the 3 days there at CES. Any ones that really stand out for you?
Yes. So we have, we're bringing more robotics that aren't in the booth. One of them is bionics in the ankles and shoes, Defy, DEPHY, and they're going to come and show their bionic shoes, and that one is very exciting. There's another one called Rebimo, and they do their video is fantastic because if you're a stroke victim, or someone that can't get around, it's like a mini refrigerator size robot, but it can come and get you from your bed, take you all the way to the toilet, and so that you can do this on your own without the help of a caregiver. Okay, so there's a dignity issue there. We are focusing on hospital at home, so we have somebody coming from Boston's Mass General Brigham Medical Center talking about their program and how they're making it work, because I do believe that we have, with this aging population, more and more will be done at home, which is why I'm showcasing all the ones I'm doing at home. And it's kind of a big movement there. So we're doing that. Those are the top.
I say having people like the non-tech folk buy into these products can be hit and miss, because you have the stay at home, you have the the whole idea that a lot of these products will need internet connections, and people will
Yes.
go, what if the internet goes down and my mom who's in a bed and she needs to go to the toilet and this device stops halfway along collecting her
I
from her
don't
bed.
think that one is internet based, so I
Okay.
think we're okay.
Oh, wow.
You know,
Yeah.
where it might happen are some of these fall detection ones. I agree with you on
Yes.
that. But I even like some of there are now these smaller robots. I'm not bringing them, but they're smaller robots that kind of follow you around the house and for fall detection or watching what's happening with you. And those are more power oriented. I think to change it or to see what's happening might be the app. But I do believe that internet will get stronger, and I'm hoping that the bigger players in like the Verizons and and then you've got your Samsungs will help in this area of like providing technology for those who need it from an accessibility standpoint. I think that we will get there. I'm a firm believer about technology and how it usually starts with the military or it starts with sports. Okay.
Very true.
But it
That's a
eventually
great way of
trickles down.
describing it.
Yeah.
Yes.
It will eventually trickle down. And, where we're seeing robotics right now, I think it'll always be right now because people are a little skittish about it. It's going to be the jobs that people don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how to fill that gap is what robotics will do. And then slowly but surely other things will
it's either the people that don't want to do it or you just can't get the staff like that. Like we have a shortage of medical in Ireland. Like we just can't retain even our nursing students that we're training up. They're all heading off to Australia, better wages, better life. Oh yeah. Like it's our healthcare retention here in Ireland is crucial. It is at a critical stage. Yeah.
You know what? I am really worried about it too, because in America, nobody's building new medical schools, and the medical school acceptance rate is 1%. So there's tons of people out there who want to be doctors, okay, but they can't get in. And but I see this movement with the nurses, with the nurse practitioner role and the physician assistants roles, and that's where I think. I mean, I'm really hypothesizing here, but I believe that those roles are the ones that are going to kind of support the hospital at home, and the doctors will be triaged in the hospital.
How do you find the big buzzword, and it's going to continue? Some people say it's a bubble, question mark, it could be a bubble, AI. Like you see a lot of AI being brought in absolutely everywhere, especially healthcare.
Yes.
Is it something that people are buying into with products and software? Do you believe?
I do think that it will, because there's efficiencies to be had, because the U.S. healthcare industry is very fragmented. Okay. And
so is Ireland, but there you go. Yeah.
Legacy systems, right? You got a bunch of legacy systems. You got this fragmentation going on, and AI can kind of pull all the data together. Now, if we all trust it,
and that's a key word. Trust it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and so we have to figure out how we're going to get there. That I believe that there will be efficiencies made that are going to be good ones in this area. So I think we have to continue. And there's so many different kinds of AI, right? So I love the data side of it. Okay, I also love the predictability. There are startups right now who they have like certain games or logic things that you can do. And there's one that I consider Rendeavor, and you're playing with the game, but they have so much data around who has cognitive decline and is doing this platform, who doesn't, so that they can predict, hey, there's a change in behavior here. This person seems to be experiencing more cognitive decline than they did 3 months ago. And that, to me,
that's a massive
amazing. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. So there's, I think there's some good. I think it's the bubble thing. My sister actually agrees with you on this, but we'll see. But I think there's going to be some good. There's
some good and there is some negatives. Like all these, from my media background and just going on the whole voice generation and deep fakes or even like AI generated, like some people might come out with ideas of like, we're going to make an AI so an aging person can talk to what they consider a human being and an avatar. And
Mhm.
you go, is this good or is this bad? Answers on a postcard. Yeah, it's a tough one to decide.
It is, and I actually have some solutions, some startups that do this. I think that we've heard some terrible stories about that happening, but we do have a really big problem with loneliness.
We
Um,
do. Yeah.
and to the extent that AI can assist. I'm still on the fence about it, but I do want to. We have to tackle loneliness, and how are we going to do that? It only takes 20 minutes of a conversation with somebody,
Yep.
a day that
Yep.
can combat that. But yet, there are so many people out there who are isolated, and they can't do it. So, could AI chat kind of help? Maybe. Uh, they are also learning models, so I don't know. I don't know. Then I hear the horror stories and I get scared. So
And for me, like I'm similar to you, Amelia. I sit on the fence of it. Like it could help. It could help dementia people to remember that this person that you're speaking to before you do a video call is your son or daughter, and give them a bit of a top up of information before they join a call. But I'm still on the thoughts of, it doesn't take much from the audiovisual hat on. It doesn't take much to stick a camera in someone's home and be able to have an easy call with them.
I know it doesn't. And I actually have two startups that actually do it through the TV.
Right.
I mean,
Yes.
everybody has a TV, and
Everyone has a TV.
you can connect right away with video into the TV and talk to your mother or father. So yeah, it's just that they somehow these things aren't happening.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the kids are busy, and I don't know. There's a ton of loneliness going on, and being alone and feeling isolated, it's as if you're smoking 15 cigarettes a day.
Yes. Yes.
It's very unhealthy. So I'm not sure what to say. I've friends that I only chat with, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yes. Yeah. Well, like we've done a couple of different in our university. We've done a couple of different projects for aging people, where it's as simple as just putting sensors on cabinets around the kitchen and around the bathroom, so you can actually the family member can see, okay, well, my mum opened that press, she turned on the kettle, she was able to make herself a cup of tea, and you can see this. Maybe put a camera in the, like, it's getting people to buy into it. But we have this big nugget of problems when you have these type of research projects going on, which is, of course, GDPR, which, of course, you don't have the data protection.
Oh yeah, we don't do it.
Over in America. Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's a tough one. It is a tough one.
It is, and people don't want to be monitored, which is why I think ambient technology will help, because you won't know you are. And sometimes I've never said this to anyone, but I kind of feel like, okay, I know you want to stay in your home. So will you be willing to be monitored so you can stay in your home? Because I think that's compelling. Okay, then I'd be like, okay, maybe I will be monitored for that reason. Yeah, I don't know. Your example is really interesting, because my mother, I never had any sensors in with my mother. Okay. And what she would do is, I have a twin sister, so we were close by for her. And she would call, like, me on Tuesday, Nellie on Wednesday, and just be like, everything's fine. Everything. And it was just a very short conversation, but that is the way we stay connected to her. And, I don't know. So it's tough. Sometimes you're not in the same city. That's part of a problem. So that's why remote patient monitoring comes into play. So we'll have to see where it goes. I don't know. I've seen.
But I think that, like, one that will always continually grow is fall detection. Because, like, like way back when it was simply something that aging people would wear around the neck. Now we have watches. Now we have so many other type of devices to detect fall detection, which is so important.
And I know, and different kinds of technology, and but even so, then I get the fall detection side. How can we prevent the fall from happening in the first place? And there is so much happening with just the phone. The gyroscope in the phone or the watch can actually predict stability. So we've got startups looking at that and measuring that, and really doing great job with gait analysis as to whether or not someone is getting weaker or, kind of not walking the way they used to. It's all about like the change in behavior at this point, in many ways, about what we need to watch for people getting older. And so, if we can get there, if the phone could tell you, hey, watch out because,
I joked earlier about medication management, but like medication management in the home, if you are a family member and your mom or dad are aging or so forth, like I think that one of the most worrying factors is when they go to their GP or their doctor, they give another prescription, and you're like, okay, have they collected the prescription? Are they taking the right medication on the right days? Okay, you can get one of the medical drug administration little drawers and go Monday to Sunday, right. But like there's no guarantee that they're going to remember to take them.
That's right.
And that, like, yes, some people will say, oh, you can just have it on an app on your phone, but still, are they charging the phone?
Other devices. There are other devices that the medicine actually goes into, and then it administers it, it drops it down, and there's a video so that, like me, I could be like, Mom, like, where are you? Come and take this medicine. And so you can actually see them taking the medicine.
I love that.
Yeah. So you see how there's just so much technology out there. It's amazing.
And do you find that a lot of these companies, even startups, that they benefit from going to your booth, becoming part of your association, and being able to go, I have an idea, and networking with other companies to come up with new things?
Yeah, I mean, I think that like I've amassed, it's almost 700 companies at this point. And so I think, it's an ecosystem that's kind of there to support each other and help. But I think the startups talk to each other who, they can commiserate. Then these other larger companies can work with them. And I believe my role is to convene and to get these people together to meet and hopefully have something beautiful happen, right? Like my goal would be startup A realizes they have part A, startup B realizes they have part B, and they get together and they build a stronger product because of it. Yeah. So startup A goes with big company, enterprise, whatever, Fortune 500 company, because they have a solution that the Fortune 500 company is interested in. I'm looking for ways for these startups to succeed, whether they do it on their own or they figure out a way to do it together. I've got the VCs and other companies there, and advisors, and other kind of services to kind of help them along the way.
It's a really exciting area. And it impacts everyone. That's why it's such an exciting area. I for people that I've been telling, I'm going over to the CES. Some people know what CES. Other people are saying, what's CES? And I was like, this is the biggest trade show in the world where you can see anything from an underwater microwave to a flying car. And everything in between. But people forget, that healthcare is such a vital area of CES. You will find things that you go, what? And then other things that you go, that is a genius idea that changes people's lives.
Yes, that's what's so fascinating about it.
For more information on where they can find out more, okay, let's actually go to your website, and you're from Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. you're beginning conversations and the tech outlook, but you're in the Venetian for the week.
Venetian Expo, yep. And we are the largest exhibitor there. You can't miss us. So we are significant there. And check it out. Check out our microsite for CES, and we've got a lot of programming, but also the future activation and 27 companies demoing their products.
And if people want to join you, even if they're not creating tech, but they're considering tech, where the best place is to go to the website as well?
Go to the website. And I think for startups, you've got to apply to one of our pitch events and get slated. And for the other ones, they can apply on that Apply Today column button.
Well, I will certainly be hopping by your trade booths and trying to try out a couple of these techs. I guess is now from being at other trade shows. I'm in from Sunday. Like I will be at the media days as well, which is great. Gives me a chance. I'm guessing by midweek on the Wednesdays and Thursdays, everything's just hectic around every booth's available.
Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday are pretty busy. Friday's pretty light. Thursday gets lighter.
Okay.
So.
Well, it was great to speak with Amelia Hay, VP of Startup Programming and Investments for the Age Tech Collaborative. It's going to be such an exciting show, CES 2026. I know you can't get around everything. I have so many different invites to different parties, to different networking events, both in the daytime and at night. As you know, Vegas never sleeps. But really looking forward to the Age Tech Collaborative as one of the things that I want to see at CES. I hope you enjoyed the program. If you're attending CES 2026, do get in contact with the All Things TechIE podcast. If you're watching, the details is on the bottom of the screen at the moment. Sir Justin Dawson. I'm on YouTube. I'm on TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. But to name a few places, and of course you can find me at www.allthingstech.ie. From me, Justin Dawson, and the All Things TechIE podcast for episode 132, goodbye and talk to you soon.